For those of you who follow us on our other channel, Epic Car Show, you may be aware that we recently purchased this Mini for £300. Now, it's had all sorts of mechanical work done to it, but today is the day we're going to carry out a massive deep clean. So a quick breakdown. The interior is disgusting, and I can only pray that the previous owner didn't eat in it because the dirt on the steering wheel was just vile. But nevertheless, we were optimistic we could restore this Mini and get it looking fresh for the summer.
So I really want to try and get this looking as best as I possibly can without damaging it any further than it already has been damaged. Yeah, a little bit of guidance in this area of the engine bay would be quite useful.
So we've got road salt, we've got a bit of mould, we've got dirt everywhere, oil, chemicals. This is just an absolute state. So we're going to give it a massive deep clean, and we're going to try and make it look as good as possible but without causing any damage. And for today's video, I let Matt pick whatever products he wanted from the workbench. Right, we have these two products for the engine bay. So number one, we're going to be using this called Yum Undress. We're going to spray it over literally everything you can see. Don't worry if we get it around the edge at this stage. We need to give this a deep clean.
Okay.
So it really doesn't matter. We're going to be going over it again with plenty of water. Then what we're going to be doing, whilst that chemical is dwelling, we're then going to layer some Built Hamber touchless foam on top. Let that dwell and do its magic, because this is a very powerful formula. And then, although it's a touchless product, which means you don't essentially need to touch anything, we're just going to hit it with a brush as well, because we just want to get it all off in one go. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay. First up was to spray Yum Undress to do all the heavy lifting of the dirt. Next step, we're just going to foam the engine bay. Again, it looks very daunting, but don't worry about it. We're going to start off at the top, and then we're just going to work our way down. Look at that. Looks so nice, doesn't it? Really satisfying.
This is insane. It looks so cool. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Look at it. So you're absolutely sure this is fine to do, yeah?
Yeah. With most cars, with this one, the annoying thing now, Matt, is we have to play the waiting game.
Oh, right.
We need this to work, so we just got to let it dwell. Now, we have got direct sunlight on it, and it is windy, so that's going to chop our dwell time down by 1 to 2 minutes. So the good news is we don't have to wait 5 minutes, so really 3 minutes should do it.
Okay, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Lovely, isn't it?
It's so good. It's so good. These are such good brushes as well, to sort of get in these cracks and really, really find that dirt.
The giant toothbrush works.
Oh, look at them! Brilliant. That's so much better already. We haven't even washed it off yet, and I'm complimenting it.
As long as the chemicals don't go bone dry, it should be okay.
Okay, okay.
So we can always top it up with more foam on top if you really feel you have to.
Perfect. At the moment, we get enough dripping down from the top to sort of keep this bit wet, which is a good feature here.
So I've got two products. I'm going to use Undress, which is what we used on the engine bay. We're going to just quickly chuck some on the tyres, and we're just going to go around all of them quickly. Because it's a cool day in the summer, no way will we go and do all 4 wheels, but because we've got the weather on our side, this is the one rare opportunity we've got where we can get away with it. It has that eggy smell that you find with all fallout removers.
I was going to say, that is an eggy scent, but I assume the egg means it's working?
Eggs are supposed to be good for you.
The man's got some free range.
Fallout removers don't clean wheels. They just remove all like the iron particles, but this is a 2-in-1 formula, so it's going to do a bit of both.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. We're going to let it dwell for a bit, and you're going to see now, look, it's starting to change purple already. God, that looks quite good. I mean, you can see now, look at this.
God, blimey, the amount of brake dust it's taken out. Oh, here comes the big reveal. That's all right.
Don't forget the tyres as well.
Yeah. I'll get there. That looks all right though, doesn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Come on, really good, really good.
And don't worry about the odd bits getting inside, because we are going to give it a deep clean. So try not to panic too much.
That's all right. I mean, look at the state of it. We can't make it worse, can we?
Try and get in all these little nooks and crannies
right in
up
there.
Yeah, right in the grooves, and get under the door here as well.
Okay.
It's pretty grim in this section as well, Matt.
Yeah. So we just throw this in here.
Yeah, just don't be afraid to go nuts. Just soak it.
That's all right.
Because we've got so many car dryers and things, we could easily dry this afterwards.
Okay, yeah, true, true. So then you realise actually how filthy this car is.
Yeah.
I assume it's the same most of the time when
Petrol
cleaning.
cap, let me guess. Yep,
Oh,
it's horrendous.
look at that.
Same thing for that as well.
Just soak it right in, yeah? You ready?
You're going to get wet, unless you want to turn the power off, but I think you need the power
let's go for it, let's try.
Yeah, I like full power.
Oh, yes. That one tastes really good.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Isn't
when you
it?
get the splashback.
Oh, dear. Mind you, it's a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, that'll be good. Normally I'm going to be a bit more thorough, but today, because we're in a hurry, I believe using a good old-fashioned tyre brush will sort it out. And there's bits of roof coming straight off.
Oh no! Yeah, this is seen better days, is this roof.
The green.
It's green enough. Hundreds of years of ecosystems being scrubbed away by Dave right now.
We're going to start from top to bottom, Matt.
Right.
Normally, never in a million years would I say pressure wash a roof. So we've got that on medium mode. So basically it's a wide fan, nice and soft. So as long as you stand back, like the only way you're going to feel the full force of a pressure washer is really close here.
Okay.
By the time that water gets to about here, that full bar pressure has completely diminished. So it's basically going to be like a sprinkler, provided you stand back. So we're going to start top, work down and just wash it down.
Okie dokie.
Stop. Yeah, put some shampoo in, put some in, and then we're just going to foam it up again with the pressure washer. Yeah, that'll do.
That's enough?
Yeah, it's plenty.
Lovely. Look at it go.
This is not the best of days to be washing a car. It's bitter out here.
Yeah, it's genuinely, I think it's about 4 degrees out here. I'm teaching you new tricks, Dave. Look, if you really try and believe, look, if you really try, there you go.
You just washed a scratch out.
The scratch is gone.
While I got you there on record,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you this, because the other day we put plastic coat on the trim.
Oh,
you
yes.
can see this is unprotected. This is protected.
Wow, the
Look.
difference on that. That looks incredible. You can
It's a good
see
product,
that
isn't it?
beading as well. It looks fantastic. Yeah, that's night and day, exactly what you've got up to there.
Right, what we're going to do is dry off most of the car outside so we don't get all the inside wet in the unit, and we're going to use these. These are the very expensive towels. They're the nice ones. They're from microfiber. And
Very
they're
fancy.
So good. And I've just tried in a puddle and got both my shoes wet.
Well, good job you got the towels for them.
Yes, I got a wet vac as well just to dry
Lovely.
my shoes. From here, it looks good.
So I was towel drying the Mini and covering the larger areas, and Matt was using the car dryer feature on the Hyundai wet vac just to make sure we had no drips.
We're going to carry on with the rest of the outside in a minute. Now we're going to jump onto the inside. So
Oh,
for some lucky detailers, you're probably going to have blowers and air compressors to get all this stuff out. Now, normally you would have done it before you washed the car, but I understand beginners and people who just don't really do this for a living aren't going to have all those tools. So the next best thing is simple. We've got a vacuum cleaner, we've got a brush. Now for bits like this, all we're going to do is just flick the dust and everything like this. With the vacuum cleaner on, it's going to catch any of these loose bits, and we're just going to go around the entire car first before we start scrubbing. The trick is, with interior cleaning, is to not go too mad in one go. Now, I'm just going to vacuum, I would say a good 60 to 70% of all the crumbs, because what I'm going to be doing is spraying, scrubbing, wiping, dressing, etc. And then by the time you've done all that process, you still would have made a little bit of mess, because sometimes you're getting in and out of the car. So there's absolutely no point whatsoever in doing 100% of this, and then you've got to get in and lean over without flicking any more bits. It's just a bit of a faff. So for me, let's just get rid of most of the dirt, and then we're going to come back. So like I said, we've still got to wet vac these seats as well, because we want to make these look as good as new. So there's going to be lots of blowing, lots of sucking, but that didn't sound right, did it?
no comment.
Matt was on scrub duty till he got bored, so I had a better idea for him.
I've got a drill brush. You might enjoy using.
drill
Yeah,
brush?
you might enjoy using that.
Oh,
This method is really effective if you don't want to oversaturate your fabric seats, and it takes no time at all. The Tornador was insane, it just obliterated everything in sight. People often ask me if a Tornador is better than a dry ice machine, and to be honest, right now that's not something I can answer. But when you look at how much it costs in comparison, there is no competition. And the reason being is because you still get amazing results with very little effort. For example, so I use ProChem carpet cleaner for the fabric, and it works much better than your traditional interior cleaner. But then you wouldn't use ProChem carpet cleaner on plastics, although water alone will work to a certain extent, but it still won't be quite good enough to do the job in the way you'd hope. And I have tried using a few different chemicals, and it's just a case of finding the right product for the right job.
Okay, it's fair to say this steering wheel is slightly disgusting. So what we're going to do is, normally I'd be like, you've got to be very careful because steering wheels have lots of buttons, so you can't really soak it. But because this just has two little horn buttons here, I think it's fair to say I can saturate it with a chemical. So I've got a bit of Yum Interior again. And look, normally I would never do this on a normal car in a normal condition, but I think this has gone way past that point. So we're going to let this dwell for a bit. Not going to let it dry. And yes, I am using slightly more than normal. So we're just going to let that dwell just for a minute or so. And then we're going to start attacking it with a scrub pad. Oh my God, you can feel the slime and the sludge. I mean, look at that. And you rub that with your hand. I mean, look, let me get a scrub pad. Now, even if I just wipe that. Oh man, what a difference.
Look at that, it's filth.
It's absolutely brutal.
That looks great though already.
Yeah. So I've let that dwell for a few minutes. Oh, I scare myself. Scare myself every time.
They still work.
I'm not going to get it all off in one hit, I don't think, because there's layers and layers of makeup and fat from the skin, and it's just awful. I think it's wishful thinking that you can just take it off with one hit. So now I'm going to take my brush. I'm just going to get in all these little crevices here, where all these seams are. And again, I always bleat on about these brushes, but I love them. They're so short and they're so compact. I can get in every single little angle.
I have inhaled so much of this car now. I am so bunged up with mini fluids. It's disgusting.
Mini fluids.
Well, look at the difference in that already.
The worst bits are always behind here. I mean, put the camera behind there now and I bet there's marks there because we haven't attacked it yet. But that's always the worst culprit. Oh. And you've got to remember, if you're eating in the car, it's pretty disgusting because you're always going to be touching the wheel. Look at the state of this. That scrub pad's completely black.
You've ruined that thing, look at that.
It was a nice fresh one.
It is filthy behind there, I'm afraid. Never known a filthier car, Dave. It is disgusting. Mind you, you must have come across some worse cars than this.
I've come across some real stinkers.
This is a walk in the park compared to some of the stuff you've had, I'm sure. Oh, there's a little bit of gack in here.
I know, it's amazing. It gets in all those little marks.
Seriously,
little gaps.
where is it? Where has this gack come from? I want to know.
It's almost as if someone's been driving with the roof down in bad weather.
Yeah, I know. It'd be absolutely ridiculous of just like an umbrella or something to protect them. Weird.
Yeah, I bet this was your doing.
I'm the one with all the gack. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, look at that. It's night and day. Originally, this was absolutely cacked. It was just all the stains you could imagine, all the
good,
fluid.
isn't it? Really
and
good.
now look at it. Yeah, it looks brilliant.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Why not? Honestly.
Okay, but for a £300 car, yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Really good. And we're not done yet.
But wait, there's more.
The good stuff is yet to come. I'll tell you what, when this car is finished, it's going to look amazing. I'm so excited to see the results at the end. Right, now Matt, this is the quickest and easiest way of cleaning any car mats. Looks like a bog brush, but it isn't. I haven't tried that theory yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this brush, so I'm just giving you a quick demo, and I'm going to push it away from me because as it's pushing away, it's flicking the dirt, and of course it could slip, so you do have to put your knee on it, but apart from that, you're not really going to make much mess. But one thing you've got to be very careful is, because these are very cheap mats, no offence, they will snag a little bit, you can see. If you held it here for a long period of time like this, look, you're going to cause snagging. So yeah, you just got to be very careful with that. But other than that, it takes no more than a couple of minutes.
Whilst Matt was cleaning the mat, that sounded weird, I was using a clay block to remove some contaminants from the bodywork. I then started machine polishing with a heavy compound before switching to a glaze.
So basically, I just want to point out something with this. You're not actually polishing the car, you're just spreading a product over it, and that's literally all you're doing. You're not breaking any of the clear coat down, you're just covering it with this because it's faster and it's just, you get a more even finish, and trust me, it does make a bit of a difference compared to doing it by hand. So in case you're wondering, why am I using a soft pad? That's why. You can just buff it all off now.
Lovely.
I'm going to finish some other bits, so I'll leave you to do that.
After a good bit of wiping, we jumped onto the glass, and then it was time for the bumpers.
You remember we keep on referencing the bumpers because we put a test panel on here a couple of weeks ago when we actually got this car. So we've given it a wash, and you can see it made such a difference. So now what we're going to do is go over the entire vehicle, and this is where it's going to transform the car, because the bumpers are probably the worst bit on this. So I'm using plastic coat, and we're going to put one covering on. We're going to leave it for maybe a day or so, because this is going to stay in here for quite a while, and then we're going to put another layer on. So you're only going to see the effects of one layer, but bear in mind this only had one layer on and we got these results. So this is just me going one step further. One layer is normally fine, but I'm just saying, because this is a very special car and you know it,
Thank you very much.
that's what we're going to do. But look at this, as soon as you put it on, I mean,
It's just incredible, isn't it? It completely transforms it.
Instantly.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, we had this on the Panda, didn't we? When we did the Panda clean video, and it lasted for ages as well. I was really pleased with the results on it. Look at that.
That is insane.
Completely transforms this car.
Plastic coat from Infinity Wax is out of this world, and if you're a beginner, it's one of those products that will give you instant results without having to do a lot of work. And if you want to try it out, you can get a 10% discount at Infinity Wax when you use the code EPIC at the checkout. And now, time for the results.